plastic production is estimated to quadruple by 2050, it is quite obvious that something has to be done to prevent its worst consequences. From the last module, we know that the 3 R's, reduction, reuse, and recycling, are pivotal to move towards circularity in the packaging value chain. Research shows that it is possible with currently available technologies, but it will require concerted effort. 80% of plastic waste forecast by 2040 can be avoided using existing technologies, but only if upstream and downstream measures are combined. What does that mean in practice? In the current linear value chain, plastics are produced from raw materials, then manufactured into packaging products. These are filled by consumer goods companies, move through retailers to the consumer, and finally end up in a landfill or leaked in the environment. To transform this chain into a circle, changes at 2 points are essential. Downstream measures target the setup of universal collection, sorting, and recycling infrastructure. These guarantee that waste, when disposed properly, can be transformed back into packaging materials or other plastic products. This reduces leakage of plastic waste and the need for primary raw materials. However, in practice, leakages remain. Not all littering can be avoided. Recycling is not possible for all materials, and materials become less reusable with every recycling cycle. Therefore, upstream measures which target product design are essential. Redesigning packaging systems can lead to packaging requiring less resources, containing more recycled materials and becoming increasingly recyclable themselves. Changes in this stage therefore enhance waste reduction, preparation for reuse, and recycling. Achieving these transformations requires a holistic policy approach which provides resources for waste management systems and incentives for businesses to redesign packaging. One answer to this is extended producer responsibility, or EPR. EPR schemes are based on the polluter pays principle, according to which whoever introduces packaging or packaged goods into a country's market remains responsible for it until the end of the packaging life cycle. This includes both domestic producers and importers. In the simplest version, every producer fulfills their responsibility individually. For example, a company producing soft drinks would take back all their bottles from consumers and make sure they are recycled. This is simple for a single product, but quickly turns into a logistical nightmare when implemented on a large scale. Waste is produced in dispersed households from products made by many producers, often consisting of multiple materials. Imagine having to keep water bottles from Nestle separate from those of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and keep those separate from shampoo bottles and food packaging. Imagine the effort of bringing all these products to different collection points and the cost of setting up different waste management infrastructure for each one. For this reason, most EPR schemes for packaging function through collective responsibility. Producers create a producer responsibility organization, or PRO, to which they delegate all operational tasks of managing the collection of treatment of packaging waste. The PRO is the cornerstone of any EPR scheme. Every producer that puts packaged products on the market pays a fee which is proportional to the amount of packaging they introduce. This system is fair, as large companies pay more than small ones and foreign and domestic producers are charged the same. These fees cover all costs associated with the collection, sorting, and recycling of packaging waste, as well as the PRO's operating costs. The PRO manages these fees and contracts waste operators and/or municipalities to perform these tasks. This way, one waste operator can collect all the waste from any household, and the overall system can be easily monitored. For example, Company A produces a soft drink. To cover the costs of the collection, sorting, and recycling of these bottles, it pays $300 to a PRO for every ton of bottles marketed. Companies B and C also pay fees to this PRO rather than contracting their own waste management operators. The PRO uses this money to cover its own administrative costs, contract waste collectors, pay for recycling, communicate with customers, and report to state authorities. EPR schemes based on collective responsibility propel the transition towards a circular economy at two key points mentioned before. Downstream, they increase funding for collection, sorting, and recycling of packaging waste, and thus reduce waste leakage into the environment. This makes money available for providing adequate infrastructure and decent employment in waste management. As this funding comes from businesses, it takes pressure off of municipal budgets. Since businesses are now left to take responsibility for their waste, it is in their interest to set up efficient waste management systems and reduce overall waste management costs. Additionally, improved collection and recycling facilities make recycled plastics more readily available upstream. This further incentivizes their use over primary raw materials. Upstream, EPR encourages waste reduction, as companies pay fees according to the amount of waste they produced, and ideally also by the recyclability of their packaging. They are incentivized to reduce packaging and increase its recyclability. This supports the reduction of plastics consumption and increases recycling. EPR is based on the producer pays principle. However, it propels a collective effort to reduce packaging's end-of-life impacts, including all the stakeholders in the value chain. As producers must account for the costs of their packaging waste, they are incentivized to promote changes up and down the value chain to reduce its impacts in a cost-effective manner. In practice, EPR schemes have been shown to reduce the impacts of plastic waste on the environment, the economy, and society as a whole. Over 400 EPR schemes are now implemented globally, nearly 70 of which in packaging. These have contributed to marked increases in recycling rates. For example, recycling of packaging in Italy increased from 3% in 1997 to 65% in 2014. I hope you enjoyed this module. The expert voices will help you dive deeper into the topic. See you in the next video.